Welcome to the Editor's Note Comics Podcast.
Nobody's walking out on this fun, old-fashioned family Christmas. No, we're all in this together.
Central Maine's best comics podcast, by default.
Fragile. It must be Italian.
Here are your hosts, Zach and Jared.
I didn't know you had elves working here.
Dun, 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 dun. I hope it's not your first episode.
Wow.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back.
That's abrasive.
We might have taken this week off, but Star Wars came out, so we're back, baby, on an early week. Hopefully you'll be getting this a little bit earlier. That's what I'm shooting for anyway.
It's a Christmas stocking stuffer delight.
We'll see how the editing goes, but this should be out super early compared to when we normally do these.
Yeah, it's true. It's like a Christmas gift from
Here we
us
are
to
on
you.
a midday. Have we ever done a midday show? Maybe once.
Maybe once.
Yeah, we don't do these often.
I'm still in a little bit of a fog.
Hungover.
Actually, no, I'm not. I'm just really tired.
Sleepy from cheering.
Yeah.
Look, we'll check in with Jared Richmond, sideline reporter, later on.
Okay, I was high above the sideline. I was nowhere near the sideline.
You're saying I was high. I was high as a kite.
No, but there were people in our section that were, yes.
I was just drunk as a skunk.
I mean, that's one way to perhaps look at it.
Good way to kill skunks. You cover them in just a black cloth and you dunk them.
This took a real turn.
That's how you kill skunks.
This really took a
They
morbid
won't
turn.
fight back. Well, fuck skunks.
Well, on to the news.
What do we got going on this week? We're going to do a pretty abbreviated news week because we're only doing this a couple of days after. This week in comics history, and we are going to count the full week, sports, and Star Wars.
Oh, that came out?
Oh, yeah, it did.
Was I supposed to go watch that?
And did we just get the same text and mine came in like 15 seconds later?
Yes.
What network are you on?
I'm on your Wi-Fi.
Well, okay.
Oh, but U.S. Cellular.
Huh. Yeah, I got it like 15 seconds later. My pants just buzzed.
Well, you guys are, I don't know.
I'm Verizon.
He's Verizon, too. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, the other thing, your questions. Maybe we'll do one, maybe we'll do two. I haven't decided yet because we just got a Star Wars question like 10 minutes before we started.
Oh, wow. All right. Good to know.
Also, last show of the year.
It
2019 in the books. We're taking next week off because it's another awkward week of it's just where everything's fallen. And we took last year off for New Year's, and I'm kind of fine taking another week off for New Year's.
That's fine by me.
We've been pretty consistent.
We do a lot.
For nearly 200 episodes. Also, by the way,
yeah,
let's get that going right now. If you would like to have a question for our 200th episode,
when is that?
Mid-February.
Oh, wow.
But if you want to have a question on there for episode 100, we had banked quite a few questions to kind of do them in bulk. So if you want to send in questions specifically for the 200th episode, please start sending them now.
Okay.
So we can be ready to go.
Hashtag 200. Hashtag EdHead200.
Welcome back, Edheads. We haven't said that in a while.
Yeah, like 180 episodes.
And you've done like 100. At that point, you'll have done like 197 or 196. You're close.
At which point, when I have my 200th episode, we will have a giant celebration.
You'll get a cake.
Damn right.
But let's go from there right into the news. Short news week, so let's do this. Here's a weird
It's
one.
almost half a decade of podcasts.
It's not half a decade.
Oh, it's like 4 years.
Is it? Is that what that works out to?
52 weeks in a year.
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, that's like 4 years.
Yeah. Been consistent.
Yeah, consistently. Consistently inconsistent.
You're so tired.
I am
You're
so tired.
You're ready. Look, we're on a couch. You're just ready to like pass. Like I'm just
Yes.
gonna lie back.
I might nuzzle into your...
Take the mic out of the stand and just lie back.
I might
with it.
nuzzle into you like a tauntaun.
Hey, I just showered. I no longer smell bad on the outside.
Excellent.
Netflix is already doing a He-Man continuation with Kevin Smith as a showrunner,
Yeah, we've talked about this.
but they're also adding a second He-Man show that's in a separate continuity that's going to be CG versus 2D animation
Really?
simultaneously.
So it won't have
What?
it won't have She-Ra and Man-at-Arms.
I mean, it probably will, but just they're going to have two concurrent running He-Man shows.
You can't get enough He-Man.
I'm fine with none, but
I think at some point we need to watch the Dolph Lundgren He-Man.
maybe. I've never seen it. I don't.
It was Dolph Lundgren, right?
It was Dolph
Yeah.
Lundgren, yes. And I know the general premise is he goes from Eternia to New York or something.
Those are the best movies.
Where they get away from the source material. That's always the best.
Yes.
The fact that I pulled Eternia out of my ass, I know nothing about He-Man.
Castle Grayskull?
I know that.
Skeletor?
Yeah.
I have the power?
we're still sticking with stuff that I'm like, yep.
Okay, see,
I recognize
that's
these
all
things.
you really need to know. Every episode
But if
has
you
those elements in it.
You just said the name Man at Arms. I don't know what the hell that is.
That's one of the characters.
I figured.
Yes.
Don't know.
Well, he's the one that kind of wears the helmet, has the porn mustache.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Don't worry.
That's fine. You don't need to look it up.
I need to show you Man at Arms to see if you agree with my
That
description.
he has a porn mustache? But that's just weird, isn't it? That they're going to have 2 concurrent running shows?
Yes.
Yeah, that's bizarre. Oh, yeah, he does have a porn stash.
Yeah.
He looks like he has a white panel van with no windows.
Yeah. Oh, this one he's got some egg on him. I think it's egg.
What do you think? Yeah, those are eggs. What do you think that expression comes from? Egg on your face.
That's
an expression. Whenever it's brought up, I'm like, where's that come from?
Oh, there you go.
I was just laughing joyously with you, man. Great. That's the thing. Kevin Feige has announced that What If Season 2 is already in the works.
Really?
I mean, why not? You got that Disney money to throw around. And I think to keep Disney Plus going, you do have to actually, despite just keeping the classic stuff on there, you do need to pump out new material. And I mean, they already got big names back. I mean, Downey's already been announced. Most of the cast has already been announced.
Ah. By the way, egg on your face came from people throwing eggs at actors who made mistakes.
Weird.
Yeah.
So they just came equipped with eggs.
The other is a comment on a minor social gaffe at a meal when poor manners or sloppy eating leaves egg in and around your mouth.
So it's like that scene in Batman Returns when everyone just starts chucking vegetables at the Penguin. Like,
that
came with vegetables?
That was a thing. Yeah, there you go.
There we go. We just learned the origin of egg on your face.
Yeah.
So Doomsday Clock ended last week. To be honest, I haven't heard anyone's reaction yet. People will probably tell me the coming week because I don't really look online. I just kind of go with what people say to me personally.
Yeah.
But there's already talks of there being a sequel series, which it does set it up for that possibility. But at the same time, this was 12 issues and it took like 3 years.
Almost like this show.
Yeah, basically to pump out 12 issues. And granted, the last issue was great and it did a lot, but I don't know if I want to, I don't know. It's one of those things. If it comes out eventually and it's good, fine. But the idea that this thing was so delayed, it took so long, they're like, sequel series. I'm like, okay, can't wait for that to be done in, I don't know, the next 10 years.
Mm.
I don't want to spoil Doomsday Clock yet, but it does do a lot to change the universe, not just DC, but Watchmen as well. So I got to watch that series. Everyone says it's the greatest thing. I just don't have HBO.
I'm sure you could find a way. I'm sure you could unscrupulously obtain episodes.
I don't believe in that.
Good for you.
Well, I work in a business where internet piracy directly hurts me.
Mm.
So I don't pirate stuff because piracy
Well, I'm sure that you could find.
is antithetical to my business.
All right, like, don't you have like a Hulu or something, or could you like get the HBO, or
I could probably
couldn't you get HBO? Can't you get HBO through Disney Plus or something? I can't remember.
I probably could get it for a month now that it's done. Binge it and cancel it.
There you go. See, you would have paid for it. You would feel good about it.
Yeah, piracy is not for me.
There you go. You're not a pirate. Long John Silver, you are not.
I'm not Ben Grimm in Fantastic Four #5 when he was Blackbeard.
He was everything.
That's a real thing.
He is.
And the last bit of news, it's a small bit because it is coming out next month. Picard had a new teaser.
I saw it in the big screen theater.
I didn't. We went on one day after each other. I didn't see it on screen.
Well, were you
And
there?
I saw a million trailers. Also, the Tenet trailer. That looks good. I don't know what's going
Yes.
on. Looks good. I'll watch
Well, it
it.
was part of the Maria Menounos part of the show.
What the hell does she do? I don't know what she is. I only know her from...
Being at the movie theater early.
Yeah, that's literally... And she's always like, I'm someone with Botox. Follow me on Twitter. I'm like, what do you do? Who the hell are you?
Hey, I do Twitter, but I don't do Botox. I didn't really tweet a lot yesterday at the game because I was there to enjoy it.
Yeah,
I should
don't-
retro tweet that game.
No, enjoy what you saw.
I enjoyed every minute of it. I can't wait to report on it.
But who the hell is she? Do you know what she's done?
I can look it up.
No, I don't care that much.
I do.
If you don't know off the top of your head.
I'm about to find out. Maria Menounos. She worked on on E! News, Today, Access Hollywood, the Eurovision Song Contest.
So she's a host with the world's tightest skin to hide wrinkles.
No, she's 41.
Dude, that face. That ain't natural.
Oh, she was also a professional wrestler.
Was she really?
Yes.
She doesn't look like how a human should look.
I mean, good on her that she went from wrestling to movie-ishness.
She looks like that dude from Star Trek Insurrection who has the skin tightening.
Oh, yes.
That's what she looks like.
Yeah, there she is. She was wrestling and won.
Got abs.
Yeah, there you go.
But whatever. So the Picard teaser.
I liked it. Exciting.
I like a little bit more of crazy old man Riker.
Yes.
He's such a hermit.
Agreed.
I know he has a kid with him in Troy, so he's not like a full hermit, but he looks like a crazy man, and I kind of love that.
Yes, with the scraggly beard.
Yeah.
I'm glad he kept the beard.
You can't not.
Of course he can.
What is Frakes without a beard?
Young freaks.
Insurrection Frakes, and no one wants that.
Season 1 freaks.
You've never kissed me with a beard before, except for those 27 times that you did.
Without a beard, I think was the line.
Sorry.
Or was it with a beard? I don't know.
No, it was with a beard. That's why he shaved.
Oh, yes.
Even though they kissed a bunch.
Yeah, I don't know.
Star Trek Insurrection continuity errors. Come on.
All of the time.
I don't know, everything they show about this, I'm pretty psyched for it. I love Patrick Stewart's inflection because it's so Picard. I mean, who knows Picard better than him? But every little bit we get about this show. I don't know. I'm just super excited for it. Like, more excited than I've been. I mean, I know that we're getting like 3 Marvel movies a year, and I know Star Wars is now going to be forever. But going back to this world of Star Trek wasn't something I was expecting, and I'm just so excited to do it.
I think you got a little bit
ready to go back into that world.
You got a little bit of everything in there. I'm interested to see how the world has grown and progressed. Maybe the Federation is evil now.
I mean, how many admirals did they fight?
A lot.
So many admirals.
The one that they blew the head up off of?
Yeah, it had that alien inside of it. It looked terrible.
It doesn't like you, but it likes you. It doesn't like your chief medical officer.
That's some season 2 stuff, baby.
Yeah, that was like as
Season
graphic
1.
as the show ever got.
Yeah, where they blew up the top half of a guy.
Yeah, and people
There's just a big bug and it's like, Wah!
People at standards and practices were like, can we do this?
Good times. Whatever. I'm just excited. There's not a lot to add. I still think I'm right that the woman is a Borg queen. I still back my own theory.
But she definitely has a Borg connection.
Yeah, I think she's just the new Borg queen since the last one got melted by Picard and Data.
Yeah. And do you feel like Picard has some sense of guilt over how he handled things? Obviously, Hugh is in it, but Picard maybe has some sense of guilt over Hugh?
No. I'm not quite sure what Hugh's role is going to be.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to be kind of a rebellious faction against whatever Starfleet is at that point.
Would a great cameo be Guinan?
I'd love to see Guinan.
Give me some Whoopi Goldberg.
She's too busy yelling at Meghan McCain.
Well, as one has one to do.
Every 30 seconds. It always shows up in my Twitter feed like, topics trending for you. I'm like, I don't really care about The View. Stop showing me things about The View.
Yeah.
Don't care at all. But that's it for the news. So going from there, we're going to move on to this week in comics history.
Superhero landing coming up.
This week in comics history.
Amazingly enough, this is a short week because it's Christmas.
Yay.
And not a ton happens on Christmas, historically. So let's get through these. Oh, but there is, you know what? It's only a couple, but they're all biggies.
Yes.
In 1941...
What happened in 1941?
Joe Simon and Jack Kirby introduced the world to a hero to fight against the Nazis, and Hitler himself, punching him right in his stupid face and the dumbest facial hair of all time.
Wow.
Captain America socked Hitler right in the face in 1941 in Captain America #1.
Good for him.
That's a biggie.
What is it in the movie? I've punched Hitler in the face over 1,000 times.
I forget what the number is, but yeah, I mean, that's going off of that Captain America #1 cover.
Yes.
Where he's just socking Hitler in the face. I've only seen that one once.
Star Spangled Man. You only saw that movie once?
No, I've only seen that comic once. And I mentioned this before, but it was literally behind like bulletproof glass and you couldn't take any photography.
There you go.
Because it's a pricey ass book.
Are people afraid that if they took photography, they try and replicate it?
Well, flash photography.
Oh, yeah.
So they just say like no photography, so there's just no chance of things getting fucked up.
Yeah.
With light damage, which is a real thing.
That's a huge thing.
In 1970, we're going to be seeing a lot of this coming up pretty soon. Over in DC Comics, Jack Kirby told Marvel to
shove it.
Yes, there we go. you found a way there.
Take this job and shove it.
He went over to DC where he created a brand new mythology in New Gods #1. Written, drawn, edited, not inked. I don't think he was the inker on it. I think that was Mike Royer. if I remember right. New Gods #1. We'll be seeing a lot of the New Gods coming up in a movie written by Tom King and Ava DuVernay. And Ava DuVernay is also directing it.
Well, there we go.
Thank God we didn't get Darkseid in the Justice League movie, because that would have really screwed that film up.
Yes.
Then in 1978, Tony Stark's alcoholism came to the forefront in Demon in a Bottle.
We read that.
We did, and that is one of our most listened to episodes. I wish we did a better job if I knew it was going to get as many hits as it did.
Well, you got to remember, every episode could be our most listened to episode.
Yeah, but that one gets crazy hits. It still does.
Well, there we go.
Did we do a good job? I don't remember.
I
remember
we always do a good job.
I remember cutting it down because I'm like, whatever. It's a long story. Let's just do like the main, like he's a drunk one and recovers from it in a montage.
Yes.
We should have done better if I had only known.
Hindsight is 2020, my friend.
Yeah, it's Bob Layton doing that one. And then in 1994, Legion, son of Professor Xavier, accidentally kills his father instead of killing Magneto, kicking off the Age of Apocalypse, which totally rewrote the X-Men history, supposedly forever.
Apocalypse with a K.
Yeah.
Or no, that's the planet.
Yes, that's the planet.
My bad.
No, Apocalypse just has a regular spelling.
Oops.
Kicking off the Age of Apocalypse, Wolverine didn't have a hand. Magneto and Professor Xavier were one big thing, and then it was, it was like a year, but it was a year where it seemed to be real. You don't know the 90s. The 90s was a wild time.
It really was.
And by wild, I mean a lot of bad comics.
Yes.
But that is it. That is This Week in Comics History, mostly because Christmas happens, and not a lot happens.
Yay,
this
Christmas.
week. I am out of transitions. Let's make one on the fly. I meant to write down more, but I forgot to do it.
Well, let me help you walk through one here.
All right, you can do one.
Is there some sort of superhero or an event that takes place in a giant stadium?
Say Battle World.
Mm.
Battle World was literally just people were dropped in there to fight.
How about from the chaos of what's in Judge Dredd, where the outside of the
I don't know
of Mega
Dredd that
City.
well. I don't remember.
Where
It's like the Wasteland or something.
How about this? Let's just go to Jared Sports Reports.
No, I need a transition from Marvel editor Tom Brevoort to Patriots quarterback Tom Brady. It's time for Jared Sports Reports.
That's pretty weak, actually.
It was. We're playing the theme now.
He's running down the middle by the 50. He's at the 30. Bare-chested. The guy is drunk, but there he goes. Oh, and they tackle him at the 40-yard line.
It's time for another Jared Sports Report.
I forgot to write more of them down. I'm out.
I was just trying to think of something like from the desolate wastelands to of wherever.
I got one tucked away for the Super Bowl, but I got to write more. I forgot. I forgot
well.
that I was out.
Could have been something like, transition about like from some sort of,
I went from Tom to Tom. What do you want from me?
well, I was going to be like from something to Gillette Stadium, or from a demon in a bottle to, I don't know. I can't come up. I'm so tired. I can't.
All right, let's go
properly.
to sideline reporter Jared Richmond.
So I'm so tired because I went to the Patriots and Bills game. Got back at a little after 1 o'clock. It's a long day. Left in the morning, went down, tailgated, had a great time.
You took a lot of downers.
No, I was all excited.
That's just what booze is.
I know it's a depressant. I know. I used to teach high school health. I know the chemical makeup of it. I'll tell you what, though.
Delicious.
For a bunch of people, we were next to some people tailgating, and they do a toast every game. A delicious new concoction we were forced to try. It was
roofies and alcohol.
No, it was Bailey's and butternut schnapps.
That sounds terrible.
Or butterscotch schnapps.
I figured that's what you meant. I don't think there's a butternut squash schnapps out there.
Yeah, I'm tired.
I love to have a Gordon schnapps form.
Well,
although I bet there is a pumpkin.
There probably is
schnapps out there.
So it was butterscotch schnapps, butterscotch schnapps, and Bailey's. It was
I've had
actually
banana
quite good.
schnapps before. One of the worst things in the world.
It's probably not very
oh,
good.
God, it was awful.
Made some fun of Bills Mafia fans. Sat way up high and had great seats. Spent money on $9 beers inside the stadium.
But they won.
They did win.
So what does that mean?
That means they're the AFC East champs for the 11th straight season.
Do they get the bye week?
More than likely. With the win next week, they certainly secure the bye week. Some other things have to happen today as well, but they are certainly on the inside track for that bye. But they've clinched the division. It was a great game. A lot of fun. Buffalo's much improved. gave the Patriots all they could handle.
Last week you were saying they weren't making the Super Bowl. Are you still saying that?
I don't know. If they can get the bye, and then they're probably going to end up playing probably like the Chiefs, and they can get by the Chiefs at home, who knows what they could do to the Ravens in Baltimore, but I don't know. It's going to be
a tough stretch.
It's going to be a tough stretch. It's going to be entertaining. I know that. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch and to follow. This defense still plays really, really well. Let's see. What else? The Bruins lost again.
Oh, did they?
In overtime.
I watched some of it. I didn't see all of it.
Oh, heard about that on our way back. That's all I really have for sports reports. Bud Light cost $9 at the Patriots game, and
despicable.
What's despicable is how much money we spent on that. Oh, great tailgate food. We had people next to us that offered us the pregame toast. Also provided us with steak tips and water after the game.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really good.
What'd you guys cook on the grill?
We had a variety of hot and sweet sausages,
all right.
Burgers, lots of chips. I still have some chips in the back of my car if you want some. We found a random bag of meat in the back of the car after we got home last night.
Did you leave that on someone's doorstep?
Merry Christmas, Zach.
Son of a bitch.
Well, what about the Celtics? I saw Taco Fall got into a game.
He did.
Yes.
Since we talked, they beat Dallas, which was not really a shocker. Detroit, I mean, they're the hospital Celtics right now still. I mean, Marcus Smart's out, Gordon Hayward, Robert Williams, Vincent Poirier. They were short, but Detroit was short also. You know what's crazy?
What?
Kemba Walker didn't score a field goal, but Taco Fall had 5 points.
Good job for Taco.
I mean, you could say, like, Kemba didn't score anything. All he was doing, though, because they were up by like 20 points for so long, he was just dishing to the rookies.
Yeah.
He had I think he was 0 for 6, but I mean, he had a lot. If he wanted to take more shots than 6, he had every opportunity, but that whole game was about building up the rookies. Grant Williams scored 2 threes, and considering he went 0 for 25 in the beginning of the season, that's a nice thing. Romeo Langford got his first points, man who was made of glass. Taco Fall got 5 points. There was a dunk.
I like how Brad Stevens pumped the crowd up.
Yeah, he did.
You gotta be loud enough for me to put this man in.
That was fun. And then even Taco was screwing with people. Like, even before he went in, he just started to pretend to be standing up, and everyone would freak out. They just sit back down. That was fun. They're playing Charlotte the day we're recording later today. Look, let's just say they win. They're going to beat Charlotte.
All right.
Terry Rozier revenge game.
What if they're wrong? What if you're wrong?
I'm probably not, but they're also injured. To be honest, and then they're playing Toronto on Christmas. But Toronto has lost a lot of their top players due to injury as well, who are going to be out for a long time. And Celtics are down quite a few players, so it's going to be a real injury-ridden game on Christmas. I think the Celtics will win. I wasn't positive, but Toronto's lost so many people. I'm like, at this point, they're so short.
Well, at least we won't have people yelling at Christmas this year. Or was it Thanksgiving? Oh, it was Thanksgiving.
I don't remember.
When Kyrie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, I mean, the rest, I think it's going to be a pretty easy. To be honest, I think the Celtics are going to go on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think they're going to go on a 9-game winning streak. There's really nothing that hard for the next couple of games. Toronto would have been hard, but they're so injured, and they're playing Toronto twice.
Well, wins are wins. Got to win the games you're supposed to win.
Yeah. I mean, they might not. I mean, 1 for 9 is saying a lot, but actually, even going beyond that, geez, they don't have a hard game until January 8th.
Well, then take advantage.
Yeah, they're going to go on a nice run, I think. And, I mean, Gordon Hayward is listed as questionable for today. I saw.
Get some momentum. Get some.
And Marcus Smart, something that I thought was positive is because his eye infection was in both eyes. The last he was listed was just being in his left eye.
Yeah.
So that's a positive if it's gone out of his right. So he's that much closer to returning.
I like it.
But again, Enes Kanter probably isn't going to play in Toronto on Christmas because he probably can't leave the country with that international arrest warrant. So we'll see.
Yeah. Probably need to make sure you're
not sent back to Turkey.
Yes.
I don't know, but that's it. There's a couple easy wins, and I think they're going to have a nice stretch of easy wins. Hopefully we can use that time to keep on getting rookies playing time.
Yeah.
Get those guys some serious NBA minutes.
It's important to develop them.
I mean, because right now you got Kemba, Jalen, and Jason doing everything, but you can't. It's not best to be just top heavy.
Yeah.
Which is what every team in the NBA is right now. And if you can have a more rounded team, that's going to be the way to win.
Get some supporting cast in there that can.
Definitely.
Yes.
But Christmas should still be a fun game. I don't know. That's all I have to say.
All right.
Taco.
That's all I have.
All right. Then from there, the reason we actually did a show this week, because how could we not? How could we not?
I know we'll not do a show next week.
We won't, because Star Wars isn't coming out.
That's fair.
Now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret. I'm always angry.
It's time for an Editor's Note podcast review.
All right, as we do for each and every movie review, let's start with non-spoilers.
All right.
I'm going to count this as a non-spoiler because it's literally the opening crawl. There is a lot of hand-waving in this movie.
Yeah.
A lot.
Look over here.
They're like, the Emperor's back, and that's all they say. They're like, it's just in the title crawl. They're like, look, he's back. Deal with it.
Yeah.
And I was looking at that because it starts with such a fun crawl. They're like,
the dead speak.
Yeah, the dead speak. That's a great start to an opening crawl. And then they're like, the Emperor's back. I'm like, oh, that's your explanation, isn't it?
Yes.
That is the end of that. That is a hard hand wave.
Like, these are the droids you are looking for.
So that was a little like,
but
oh boy.
The movie had so much to do that it's like, we can't waste time on like having a mystery. Plus, everyone knew, so just get right at it. There's just the movie had a lot of work to do. So
yeah,
but I get that's kind of the show don't tell thing, and that was very telly.
Yes. And my big issue with the movie, to be honest, and I've been talking to people the last couple of days about it. I don't fully have my feelings sussed out on it yet, but I can tell you my big complaint is that it feels like a checklist. They went, we need to get this done, this done, this done, this done, this done, and plot be damned, because the plot is about as thin as can be.
But you got to sustain it. You got to have a little bit of suspension of disbelief, and you can't really like. I feel like these movies are not necessarily plot-driven movies. But I see what you're saying. There's not a real arc to anything. It's just we have all these things that we need to finish up.
Yeah, there was a lot of checking boxes, and even boxes I didn't need checked.
Fair. And there are some boxes that they drew and then never checked them off.
That's why we have comics.
Yes.
Like, you want to find out? Expanded universe. We got it, baby.
Well, they also set up some more potential.
That was weird, right? Without saying what it is yet. The movie, it gets to the end of the movie and they're like, we're at the end of the series, but then these two characters talk and they basically look at camera and shrug their shoulders and go, spin-off?
Let's find out.
Should we have a spin-off? I don't know. Let's see how the internet reacts.
Yeah.
One of the harder parts, I haven't talked to people about this yet, but I would be very, very curious to talk to people who didn't know about the Carrie Fisher stuff, that they were working around old footage, because they do the best they can.
Yeah, I mean, I found it convincing.
They mostly are talking at her, though, versus any kind of back and forth. They're like, okay, well, this is happening, so I'm going to go do this. And also, we're doing this now, and it's mostly Carrie Fisher going like, yeah, okay. So it plays awkward, I think, if you know that they're working with footage from The Force Awakens and probably some from Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't play like a conversation.
No, it really doesn't, but...
They did the best they could.
Yeah.
But it does feel a little weird. But also, if you didn't know that, would you recognize it?
Probably not.
Probably not. It's just, I can't put myself in that mindset without knowing it. So the Leia stuff is awkward. It's also sad. Because
if you're going to that movie, you also know that Carrie Fisher has passed away. So it's not like...
Yeah, but as far as how they did their work around, it's sad to say, to be honest. I'm glad she's in the movie. And boy, they did a lot of hard retcons with her.
Yes.
But I also don't mind any of them.
No, I think all the choices they made with her were choices that they could make, and I thought they were good choices.
Yeah, I think, obviously the great tragedy is that she died, but the tragedy in story that we don't get is she never gets to have a scene with Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
That is a bummer. And I'm sure there would have been one otherwise, but, you work with what you got.
Yes, exactly.
Clams exist in this universe?
Why not?
Which I just thought was weird.
Why can't they exist?
I don't know, just because it's also like when they went to like a 50s diner in episode 2. I'm like, I guess we have 50s diners here.
We got a little American graffiti in there.
But there's C-3PO is talking and Poe Dameron goes, clam it, 3PO. I'm like, you guys got clams?
Sure, why not?
Why not? You have clams.
They have everything. Of all the things that happen in this universe, you're going to get upset about them potentially having clams?
I'm not upset about it. I just thought it was weird.
Okay, I get it.
It's like we got blue milk, we got green milk, we have a head of romaine lettuce. But whatever.
I had some blue milk in my fridge once when I was younger, and then it turned green. And...
If you go to those like Galaxy's Edge stuff, they got that stuff there. I'd like to do that one day.
That would be fun.
I got a buddy of mine has a timeshare at Disney. We've talked about it in the past. Hopefully that's something we can do at some point.
Oh.
Not you, just me.
Oh, well, screw you.
I'm not bringing you to the timeshare.
Why not?
I don't know. I guess if you chip in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to freeload.
And I know I said I had a big issue with like the checklist feeling of it, but I think the first 2/3 of the movie, a lot of it bothered me. That it was find the thing. We're going to find the thing, and then we have to find the other thing because we found this thing, and then that thing deciphers this thing, so we have to go find that thing, but that thing can only be deciphered if we go find this thing. Then we have to go find this thing. Find one thing.
The headpiece to the staff of Ra.
Yes. Basically, yeah. Like, they found too many things. They literally had to go find, like, 5 different things. And it felt busy and video game-like, and I just... create a problem, have them get to the problem. But, I mean, even if you just said they had to find even the second to last thing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you a visual.
Yes.
Even if they found, with my hands, so I'm not spoiling things, even if they were just finding that, then how they use it is so... coincidence runs high in this movie. I'm like, oh, thank God.
It's the Force.
You're standing in the exact right spot to use the thing that would only work from this exact spot. If you were 10 feet forward or 10 feet back, it wouldn't work.
Trust the living Force, Zach.
Yeah,
that's not how the Force works.
I love that delivery. It's such a bad delivery.
Oh, yeah.
That's not how the Force works.
I love sassy Han Solo.
My favorite part of
You're cold.
My favorite in Force Awakens is when Finn is yelling at Phasma. He's like, who's bad now? Who's bad now? And Harrison Ford is just like, easy does it. And I'm not convinced that wasn't him just in real life telling him to tone his acting down a notch.
Yeah.
Was that in the script, or was that Harrison Ford being like too big?
It's probably Harrison Ford being too real. Listen, kid.
That's not how the Force works.
Mm.
Terrible delivery. The action scenes, not as good as what we've seen, I think.
I thought the couple of lightsaber fights were good.
They brought flips back in a big way. Did you love the prequel flipping?
I thought that...
And weird, random, like, I guess we can jump 30 feet in the air now.
This was like the most Force use that we've seen in a movie.
Yeah, and a lot of it I like. I think there was a natural build to the powers they used.
But some of the things like stopping a lightsaber with your hand was pretty cool. We hadn't seen that before.
There were definitely cool moments. I like that we actually got the full cast interacting, which we haven't had before.
Yes.
And they played off each other well. I don't think there's a bad actor in there.
No, and I liked the dynamic between Poe, Finn, Rey. I'm glad they made Poe more of a central character in this one.
Yeah. And there is stuff from The Last Jedi where it feels too reactionary to crappy parts of the internet. Rose is barely in this.
Yes. That's a gross underusage of her character.
Yeah, she does nothing? Comfortably nothing?
She was busy studying schematics
off
God. Screen.
Yeah, she does nothing.
We get
Billy D. Williams, surprisingly good.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've seen him like in interviews and I've seen him at shows, and you could definitely feel his age, but in this, you really didn't. I mean, there's a lot of scenes with him sitting down.
Because he can't walk.
Yeah, he walks with a cane now, but
just his introduction, you have the original, like the helmet he was wearing, very much a callback to Last Jedi.
Not Last Jedi, but I know what you meant.
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, but high energy. Like, he was really bringing it.
Yes.
I liked him a lot. I was surprised because I really wasn't expecting anything out of him.
We got a Discount Porkins in this movie.
You talk about Greg Grunberg?
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams' childhood best friend who's in all of his movies?
Yes.
That's his good luck charm?
Yeah.
Yes, Grunberg's back.
Yep, fat bearded man.
Yes.
His fate is similar to other fat bearded men in Star Wars.
Jesus.
What?
Oh, harsh.
Well, I mean, he is. Large bearded man. How's that?
There we go. Trying to think of other non-spoiler things.
I like the planet hopping. I thought we got some fresh worlds, but we also got some familiar things.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the new worlds we go to. The ending is a little bit Return of the Jedi.
It's a little Return of the Jedi, and
it's kind of exactly Return of the Jedi, actually.
Yeah, there's also feels a little Avengery in there too.
Oh, yes, there is a big Endgame moment in there.
Yes.
But I don't know. I think that's kind of non-spoilers.
I thought Ian McDiarmid was amazing. He played the Emperor so well.
I thought the way they were shooting and the design, it was very Sam Raimi Evil Dead.
Yes.
That looks like one of the Deadites.
I loved
And the way
everything
they
about
were
it.
the lighting and the reactions, I'm like, this is this all feels like pulled straight from Evil Dead.
But you also get you start to see
Which
some
isn't a
of the,
bad thing, by the way.
you started to see some of the tie-in with the Mandalorian stuff too in this movie, which leads me to a theory about the Mandalorian.
Why it came out a day early.
Oh, that's pretty obvious.
Because there was a force power in there that they needed to go, look, you got to get used to this. You get about 24 hours.
Abilities that some consider to be unnatural.
Regrowing fingers.
Well, that was different. That was for a different reason. But no, I have a separate Mandalorian theory.
All right. Well, let's give our patented rating system. See it in theaters, red box it, or don't bother.
See it in theaters.
I stand by that one too. And I told you this already, but my kind of theory on this movie is I feel like it's going to have diminishing returns. There are a lot of surprises in this movie. There are a couple that are pretty big that I wasn't expecting, but
yeah,
I think overall the moments, because it was a fun, emotional ride, but I feel like once you go back for a second viewing and you know what the beats are, you're not going to be able to dive as deep into this movie as you are a lot of other Star Wars movies. So I don't think it's going to have great rewatch value. But for the first time around,
I found it deeply satisfying.
You got yourself a damn fun ride. So it's going to be good for at least once. And we'll kind of have to see,
when it comes out on...
Yeah, and I mean, that's always the trouble of like doing an immediate review is, you haven't had time to sit with it yet and to kind of feel it out.
It's fair. But I mean, I've found myself feeling satisfied.
I got glassy-eyed more than once, I can tell you that.
Yes.
And there's a specific one where there's like one beat, I'm like, that's sad. And then they hit you with another one like 30 seconds later. I'm like, that's too many in quick succession.
Why did you do this to me, movie?
Give me a minute.
Let me recover.
Dude, I'm sure you probably know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
It's like, those were too close together.
Yes.
Break them up.
Wow, you're really loud there.
I had fun for the first time. Again, I don't feel like it's going to have the same impact second time around.
Probably, yeah.
But, movies are meant to be seen in theaters. They're meant to be experienced. Some movies are designed for a lot of rewatch, and some of them are just meant to kind of knock you, off your socks once.
Yeah.
And this did that. So probably the worst of the sequel trilogy, but still enjoyable.
You really think it's the worst?
Yeah.
Huh.
I put up my official rating system last night.
Yeah.
I had fun with that tweet because I see people just doing like the main series, and I kept on going. I'm like, Clone Wars, Battle of Endor.
Wow.
I just thought it was fun to keep on going. I'm like, are there any other ones I can throw in here? Probably not.
Oh, there you go.
All right, we're moving on to spoilers.
Look out! There's spoilers ahead!
Oh, I ran out of tea, so this is going to be a race to the finish.
As you texted me, if you like Star Wars references, this is the movie for you.
Yeah, boy, this sucker is full of them. One of the most annoying parts of this movie, where I feel like they just could have left it alone, is Dominic Monaghan is in here.
Yeah.
Also, he has nothing to do, but he seems... A bunch of DVDs just fell over.
Wow.
What the happened?
I'm using the Force.
Barely. Dominic Monaghan's in here. He does nothing. He knows JJ from the Lost Days.
Yeah.
I don't know what his character name was, but I'm just going to always refer to him as Dominic Monaghan, just happy to be here.
Pippin.
He has a Star Wars tattoo. It's like the Yoda quote is like, luminous beings are we.
Yeah.
Like he's a fan, and he just looks happy to be there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't have anything to do. But they're talking, and they're like, we're going to go fight all the Star Destroyers. He goes, we should use the Holdo maneuver. And Finn just pipes up. He's like, no, that was 1 in a million. We can't count on that here. I'm like, they're in a straight line.
Yeah.
If there's any time to shoot something at them at light speed where other debris will also fly at them at light speed, this is the
time
exact time.
Yes.
That when they said that, I'm like, you just should have not.
Yeah.
Or you could have worked it in a different way. Be like, no, like, we can't depend that we're going to get back up. We can't waste any resources. That's a better line than what they did.
Yes. Kind of on Last Jedi a little bit.
Yeah, that was a weird moment. I'm like, there's a better line to do that, and also, or just ignore it.
Yes.
I mean, it's fun that, Dominic Monaghan, just happy to be here, is having lines. But...
Yeah. Hi, I'm in a Star Wars movie now. Yay, me.
He was happy to be there.
Yeah.
The Rose stuff, like I said, that felt weird. They're just like, she's in the background. And I mean, I've seen some of the internet comments, and I'm choosing to leave those out of there because They're as shitty as you think they are.
Yeah. Here's something that was, because we're not really going in order and talking about some things.
No.
So 3PO has to have his memory wiped.
Talks way too much in this
Yes,
movie.
he does. But
Oh
he
my
has to
God,
have,
shut up.
He has to have his memory wiped. But then he ends up getting it back. So
Yeah.
there's no real consequence to his sacrifice.
Nope. Not even a little.
Like, there's a little bit where, like, just for, it becomes the comedic relief. Oh, my first laser battle.
I like that little dude though that wipes him.
Yes.
Whatever his name was, whatever that was.
I do like
small
that he
chicken, that hairy chicken nugget that wiped his memory.
I do like that he got red-eyed and, like, sounded like he was possessed when he was reading the Sith language. But seriously, his sacrifice had no weight to it after they just restore his memory.
Gonna need a young priest and an old priest.
Yes.
Bring back an Austin Powers line. Why not?
Yes, why not? But I liked the different worlds. Exegol was kind of a neat little place.
A lot of lightning.
Well, it's the Force, the Dark Force. But how do they build all of those ships there and nobody notice?
Off screen.
But how nobody...
Off screen.
Okay, whatever. That's
We'll do it in a comic later.
That's a small problem I had. Here's my theory. I kind of like that they reveal Palpatine early.
Yeah.
And, like, they set the stage for it. But the also we get to go to Mustafar again.
Mustafar.
We got the Sith Wayfinder. This movie's very Sith heavy with its ideology, like not ideology, but mythology.
Yeah. Who the hell were those guys who got all just crushed to death at the end?
So I read
Killed like 1,000 people.
I read an interesting theory about this. I want to see what you think. Well, obviously, when Jedi,
what were they all clones? Is that the theory?
When Jedi die, they become blue Force ghosty people, right? So one of the theories I read were like, are those maybe all of the Sith Force ghosts, like all the previous Sith?
No, because they all seem to be alive.
So they could be clones.
They could be just a bunch of clones because that's a thing.
Well,
I guess Snoke was a weird clone.
Well, they were talking about how the movie says that the cloners helped bring Palpatine back to life. So here's my theory, okay? Because everyone's like, there's no way that Palpatine lived because he fell down the reactor shaft, was incinerated, then blew up, and then fell down, sank over into the swamp. So his Force spirit endured, but they were able to clone him or create a clone of him, and then him trying to reintegrate his body into, or his Force essence into that clone is why he was the way he was.
Yeah, it's probably something like that.
We're never going to get a full explanation, but that would be like what feels like the most logical.
So this is the most literal damn title of any Star Wars movie. Because
Yeah.
Palpatine's like, the last Skywalker shall fall, just as I did. Shoots him down a hole. Literally, the Rise of Skywalker is Kylo Ren climbing out of a hole.
Yes.
God, that's literal.
Super,
That's so literal. He just climbed out of a hole. That's the Rise of Skywalker.
But going back to my Mandalorian theory, I think that this is all happened. Like this, obviously, the Mandalorian and the Baby Yoda, they're trying to get the midi-chlorians from him to help make.
Maybe.
So that's just my theory.
I can see that. Yeah, like, whatever. Is he dead now? Yeah, Werner Herzog's dead now. We need to get the baby for his, or whatever.
Yeah, anyway.
Han's back, baby.
That was a
surprise. Yeah, that was legit surprising. That was a good scene.
It was a great scene.
He showed up. He tried.
Yeah.
You never know what you're gonna get with Harrison Ford.
The wig, however.
I think that might have been his real. It was long. It might have been a wig.
Is that the wig you were referring to?
No, Luke's wig.
Oh yeah,
Luke's wig is god awful.
Oh.
That thing is. I don't know. I can tell
Harrison
Ford's. It might have been a wig on him because it was long. But they're like, it's a memory, so I'm like, I can roll with it being different.
But here's the other piece. There's a nice little callback, right? Ben's like, he goes, I know.
I love that. And I love the subtle ones. The ones where they're not just winking at the camera as hard as they can are nice.
Here's a reference. Beat you over the head with it.
And there are a lot of those. But yeah, Han saying, I know. That's a good one where he didn't like turn the camera and wink at you.
Yeah.
Luke lifting the X-Wing out of the swamp without the effort. That's a nice one.
Yeah. But he had the same hand that Yoda did when he did it.
But I just love that there was no effort. But holy God, his wig is terrible. Boy, that undercuts the moment.
Yeah, a little bit.
That is a bad wig.
This movie is very Return of the Jedi in a lot of ways, too. You have that moment where...
Damn Ewoks.
Yeah, they're in there. But there's some similar scenes, like when Luke feels like he can't do it and wants to quit, and Obi-Wan comes out and Force Ghost pep talks him up. You get that with Luke on Acto.
However you pronounce it, yeah.
Whatever, yeah. Acto!
And because there's a fun connection to, I think, J.J. Abrams' second Star Wars movie. That movie has a plot point that runs through it that never gets resolved. They keep on talking about how Kirk is sick in that, and they really got to work on it. And they bring it up like 17 times, and nothing happens.
Yeah.
This movie also has that. Finn's like, Ray, I need to tell you something. Ray, I need to tell you something. What were you going to tell Ray? Finn, what are you going to tell me? About 17 times. Want to know where that goes? Nowhere. I'm like, oh, good. I've seen this before. I've seen things that were, I guess, hard to edit out, and then you're stuck with them.
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't good. That didn't go anywhere.
No, it really didn't. Let's see. I'm trying to think of other
Jedi voices.
Yeah, there were a lot.
They're back, baby.
Yeah.
Anakin's in this movie for 30 seconds, and I was annoyed at him again. He's like, bring balance to the Force as I once tried to do. I'm like, when? When did you try that? You failed so hard.
Yeah.
Shut up.
You were whiny.
You came back for 30 seconds, and I hate you again.
You didn't whine at least.
Bring balance to the Force as I once tried to do. Shut up.
We got Ewan McGregor, though, as the first voice.
Yeah, he was in there. Liam Neeson's in there. Sam Jackson's in there. Yoda's in there.
Yeah, I like that. They had some of the animated series, the Clone Wars Jedi were in there.
Yeah, I don't know them well enough, but yeah, they're there too. Good for them.
I like that scene. You know, that was,
What was she saying? She's like,
be with me.
Be with me, yeah.
What do you think about Ben turning back to the light side and having his redemption arc?
It's real easy to do in this world, and it has been before too. You can just go, all right, I'm on the other side now. But, I mean, he dies, and what was he ever going to do, though? It's like, all right, I made out with Rey, and now I'll go back with you to the Resistance. Like, no, you are going to jail for war crimes.
Yeah. You have...
Your choices are dying or going to jail forever, because no one's going to forgive you.
Also, by the way, they abused that new Jedi power.
I like the way they set that up.
Yeah.
I was fine with that because they did that in the last movie, and that was kind of a build off of that. I can roll with that.
Yeah, but it was just like, we can transfer life force. We can transfer life force.
We can transfer lightsabers. Cut those bastards down.
Yes.
Chewie getting the medal. What? I mean, I don't care. That just feels like a dumb internet thing.
Yeah.
Why did he get one? Because he's the dog.
Yes. True.
But thank God we stopped the movie for him to finally get his medal.
I like the light speed jumping in the beginning. That was kind of a neat new thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
But it like goes against everything that like Han Solo in the beginning. You know, hyperspace isn't like dusting crops, boy. You could go through a supernova, or it's like you're really.
Wedge is in there for 2 seconds.
Yes, John Williams is also in there.
Is he? Where?
He was the bartender.
Ah, okay. But I mean, the guy who played Wedge, he hates these movies.
Yeah, well, he was there.
I'm surprised he was there. And I mean, if there's anything, the end game moment of like, all hope is lost. Like, we got the Falcon in Endgame, we got the Millennium Falcon in this. They're basically doing the exact same thing.
Yes.
If Lando had said on your left, it basically the same.
Well, you knew it was coming.
Yeah, because it was in the trailer. But also, it's literally, we went from one Falcon to another.
Yes, but that's not the Endgame moment I was talking about.
Oh.
The line delivery of, and I am all the Jedi.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I am Iron Man.
Yes, that's very Endgame as well.
Yes. But McDermott just chews up the scenes he's in as Palpatine.
He always has.
But it's perfect. It's like so good.
He loves hamming it up.
But, I mean, we see him...
The Jedi.
We see him
he
actually...
adds a couple syllables to every word.
Yes. Somehow he makes a 3-syllable word. But his Force Lightning, where he's like getting everybody with it.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Like, to space.
I'm trying to think of anything else really that was...
The end is nice. I like Luke. I like the idea of the twins and the twin sons and all that. That was pretty good.
A neat shot. And I'm still a little torn on her taking the name Skywalker.
That feels weird. We're just taking names now.
Yeah. It's like, but you are a Palpatine. And
who is he boning?
Well, this is also interesting because...
He had to bang someone.
He had to have. But if he...
But he also made Darth Vader from nothing, so it could have been something like that. We don't have enough information, but there's still a chance for more weird, created immaculate births.
But I feel like it was a little bit of a course correction.
Your parents were no one. But your grandfather!
On the other hand.
Yeah. I don't know. I like it the other way. I like that I liked what Last Jedi did with, like, look.
The Force is for everyone.
You don't need to have some weird bloodline and a connection to everything. You don't need that backup bowl, and you can just do what you need to do.
You can be Force sensitive without being in a Force family.
You can be important without having to be like, but my lineage.
No need to force it.
That's some real
that mighty
Royals
Skywalker
bull
blood.
crap. Do I have anything
Let's
else?
see. I'm trying to think of other things off the top of my head from that movie that really stood out.
Yeah, those are my notes.
Those are the major ones. I like the Death Star sequence. It reminded me in the beginning too of her scavenging.
Yeah, I mean, and they had other moments like that when she's on Tatooine and she slides
down on the sand,
and it's the same musical cue.
I love the musical cue when she's in the Emperor's in the throne room on the spire.
Yeah, like if you like Star Wars references, oh baby, this movie is half reference.
It really, really is.
Yeah, so I said the plot's a little thin, but they'll probably do it again. The first ride is fun. You get those big emotional beats, but I don't know. We'll see what rewatch is like.
Or did you think Chewie was really dead?
No, because there were other shots of him in the trailer.
Ah, yes. You trailer fiend.
Because I watched a trailer and saw there was a bunch of footage with him that wasn't yet shown.
That's fair, and remembering that. I didn't think he was dead either, but it was certainly, it gave a moment.
That was a really short fake out. That was like 2 minutes.
Yes.
Like, he's dead. Nah, he's fine.
I feel like they've done that before.
But that fast? That was a fast turnaround.
It was a very fast turnaround. Again, the movie had a lot to do, and it could have crushed under the weight of everything it tried to do. But it didn't.
I don't know. It feels a little rushed to me. I think that's the feeling I kind of watched. It felt...
You're kind of at the end, and you're like, holy cow, a lot happened. Oh, you know what I was thinking at one point, too? When they're, like, flying through the canyon on those speeders? I was like, this is pod racing.
Now this is pod racing.
I still think that these three movies are better than...
Let's try spinning. That's a good move.
Yeah.
Whoa!
I would say that these three movies, though, if you take them as a complete trilogy, are better than the prequel trilogy.
Yeah, overall.
Yeah.
I like Force Awakens. I like Last Jedi a lot. This one I'm kind of tepid on, but...
I feel like it's a movie that was in a losing situation because there was such diverse reaction to Last Jedi that you were going to... The camp was so split after that point that you weren't going to make everybody happy again.
That's the problem with this one, is I feel like it's just doing the things that you want to see. It was just hitting those boxes.
Yeah.
And that made it feel very safe.
I felt like there was a sense of urgency throughout the movie, too. Like, the pacing felt fast. It's like, oh my God, things are still happening, and they're happening so fast.
We got to find a thing. We just got to keep finding things.
Yeah.
Maybe Kerry Russell and Poe are going to get together, but maybe not.
Poe might be one of my new favorite characters.
Like, I was like, we won the battle. Would you like to go
Oscar
have
Isaacs
sex?
was tremendous.
She's like, not really.
No.
He's like,
okay.
Have you seen my
He shot his
bone
shot.
structure? Yeah, I guess that's Rise of Skywalker. No more Star Wars ever until there's a bunch more movies and also The Mandalorian next week.
Yes.
No Star Wars.
For like a week and a half.
Yeah, no kidding. Plus the comics that are coming out, and there's still probably a TV show that's active. I think that one where they're just in planes.
Yeah.
No lack of Star Wars. But from there, we'll just do one. We'll move on to letters to the editors.
Lot of questions, number one. Damn few answers.
Here's another one of your letters to the editors.
Make it so.
It's the end of the decade.
Yes.
We've gotten here.
We did it.
Good job on surviving, everyone.
Well, there's still a week to go.
You might not all make it.
Yeah, sorry.
But the question was asked, what are your top 10 movies of the decade? And I'm ready to answer.
All right.
In order. Should I throw out my honorable mentions? Because I was literally...
Yeah, throw out your honorable mentions. Mine are not in order.
Mine are, and these are just the ones, these are my quickie ones that didn't
All
quite
right.
make my top 10. This was 2013. Her, the Joaquin Phoenix, where Scarlett Johansson's his phone and he's in love with her.
Okay.
Star Trek Beyond. Some people don't like it. I don't know. I really do. I thought it was a lot of fun. Also, I think everyone kind of likes this movie. Skyfall.
Yes.
Revitalized the Bond franchise until Spectre screwed it up one movie later. But boy, I like Skyfall a lot. Good villain, lots of coincidences, but fun gadgets. Has a weird Home Alone style ending, but a lot of fun. Winter Soldier. That's why we started to kind of get the Marvel movies going. We're not just going to be the same thing every single time. It's a good statement of fact in that one. And then Last Jedi. Good, solid, mixed up Star Wars a bit more. And I was all for getting a movie that was a little more challenging than what Force Awakens was.
All right.
Honorable mentions done.
Nice. So mine are in like no particular order.
I actually did mine in order.
I did not.
It's okay.
Anyway, I'll just throw out a couple, then you can throw out a couple.
Yeah.
Or do you want me to give all 10?
No, let's just go one for one. And if we have crossover, we probably will at some point.
So one of my favorite movies of the past decade was Wolf of Wall Street. I put that down as a movie I liked.
That is a good one. That's an insane movie.
Yes. There's a lot. I mean, the fact that a lot of it's true. So that's one.
Yeah, I mean, he's a weird. It's also weird to have a movie celebrating this scumbag when he's just a weird scumbag. You get big actors and kind of small roles. I think Jonah Hill took a minimum on that just to be able to work with Scorsese.
Yes. But Logan
makes my number 3 spot.
Really?
I put it at number 3. It's still surprisingly. These are like half comic book movies. Whatever, I can't help it.
That's more than okay.
But Logan is so solid, especially the X-Men franchise, which was floundering, and some of them are fine, most of them are bad, but there's a couple of gems there, and Logan is so good. It's just so stripped down, and it works so well as this, one last ride Western. And there's so much stuff that they do that's just a lot of show don't tell with like how the future works and all this great stuff and killer performances, some really good violence. And I love everything about that movie.
All right.
It's my number 3.
Django Unchained is on my top 10 list.
Not in my list, but that is a solid movie.
Crazy
costume design in that movie.
Yes.
Also, a lot of violence in that one too.
So that's 3. Is that 3 for me?
Yes.
It's 3. Creed
is my number 5.
Nice.
My God.
Oh, it's hard to go wrong with that.
Who was? I mean, I know that Rocky Balboa is really good, but that seemed to be the end. And who ever would have guessed how good this movie was going to be? The movie that kind of put Ryan Coogler like on the map. I know he'd done Fruitvale Station before, but it's got to be like, oh my God, like what a great director, what a great performance. And at the end, when they hit you with that Rocky theme going into round 10,
yeah,
it's like get out of your chair and scream like, yes! Oh my God!
Speaking of Ryan Coogler.
And that performance from Stallone.
Oh, yeah.
Especially that cancer scene.
Yes. Black Panther.
Black Panther's a killer. I keep on mentioning costume design. Great costume design in that movie. The ending is a little rubbery with the CG.
No, I got a clarifying question. Are we going back to 2010 or are we starting in 2011?
I started I did 2010 to 2019.
So then Inception.
Good movie. Solid movie. A lot of practical stuff in there.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of CG too, but.
So that's on there. That's 6. Trying to think of what else.
Good performance from Joseph Gordon-Levitt in that. I like him a lot.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Also, oh man, that movie's insane with like the wife and just everything. My God. Was that Marion Cotillard? Is that her name?
I think so, yes. The Martian.
Good movie. Poop potatoes.
Yes.
Eat your poop potatoes.
Well, they're very good.
Nominated as a Golden Globe for Best Comedy.
Crushed Vicodin.
Yeah.
So that's 6. Thor Ragnarok.
That is number 6 on my list.
Wow. So that's 7 for me. It's so much fun.
That movie is a love letter to Jack Kirby. And boy, is it fun to watch. Really elevated the Marvel movies again. Like, I know I talked about Winter Soldier, but this is another one that just kicked up the notch again. Like, hey, this is what we're doing now. We can keep reinventing ourselves and just making things better as it goes on. We're not getting tired like 20 movies in. That's nuts.
Captain America Winter Soldier.
I already talked about that.
Yeah.
It's on my honorable mention list.
It's up there. It's 7 for me. Lincoln.
Really?
Yep. I really like that movie a lot.
Wow. I was kind of bored by it.
Oh, well, I'm a big history buff, so I enjoyed the history piece of it.
I like Spielberg. I mean, I like Daniel Day-Lewis. I just wasn't super into it.
I mean,
I saw it once. I
get it if it's not your thing. Probably, I would say Infinity War over Endgame.
They didn't make it for me, but obviously they're massive.
Yes.
The movie
Those are big, I would say big movies. It's probably not one of my favorite movies. I'm trying to think. Am I 8? I didn't write it down because you told me and I was half awake during that time. What do you have for a couple? You throw some out there.
Number 10, Cabin in the Woods.
Okay.
I like this movie a lot. I'm a big horror movie fan, but for the most part, I'm not into a lot of the stuff that's kind of come out since like 2000-ish. Not to say that there haven't been good ones. There have been really good ones. But the ones that feel fresh and new and like something I haven't seen before, Cabin in the Woods is a lot of fun, like for its comedic aspects and it's poking fun at the genre and its references while also being something fresh. I love that movie. Number 9, another horror movie, and my last horror one, Get Out. Boy, was I not expecting this movie to be what it was. Jordan Peele, like, funny guy. Loved him on Mad TV. Loved him on Key and Peele. Like, good comedy guy. And I thought of him as like a good comedic writer and a good comedic performer, but never would have been like, that's the guy to write and direct the next great horror movie.
Mm.
And holy hell, did he knock it out of the park. The characters are great. The acting is great. There's just levels and layers, and that's a very easy movie to rewatch to kind of like see all the different stuff within there. But my God, did that movie just absolutely knock my socks off. I guess if we're still talking kind of like horror stuff. I'll throw out one more honorable mention. What was that John Cho one where it's all filmed by cameras?
I can't. No, I don't know.
I don't remember that one. That one's amazing. Go watch that one too if you were talking kind of suspense. Number 8, Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh yeah,
we talked about this last week. Just what a visual, stunning movie. Great performances, great characters. I don't think there's ever been a more comic book movie than that movie.
It's pretty comic booky, yes.
Yeah, that. I mean, you got the Sienkiewicz Kingpin in there, just insane visuals, great score. It also a movie. When it got announced, I was like, I don't care at all about. There's gonna be a couple on this list that go that way too. I'm like, I did not care.
Yeah,
and I was very wrong. Like whatever, animated Spider-Man, super duper. And then we saw it, I was blown away. Number 7, Guardians 2. We talked about this in the top 5 comic book movies, but that one I think has the best emotional core of any of the Marvel movies. I love the character interactions, and there's actually a Fleetwood Mac song in there that I don't hate, and I hate Fleetwood Mac.
It's true. It's well documented.
Thor Ragnarok is number 6. We already talked about that. Number 5 is Creed. Talked about that. Number 4, Blade Runner 2049.
You really were high on that movie.
That movie is a bomb from every conceivable sense. Like, it made no money, but it is amazing. Denis Villeneuve, everything he's done has a great aesthetic to it, which I've enjoyed all of his stuff, but I mean, everything about Blade Runner 2049 is astounding. And it's kind of sad that there's not going to be another one because, again, it made zero money.
Mm-hmm.
But it could be the ending, and you could totally roll it as the end of that series, or there was totally room to do another one. But it's so beautiful. It's so good. I love that movie so much. Number 3 was Logan. Already talked about that. Yep. Number 2, this is another one. I had no expectation going into this. I saw the trailers, and I was like, it looks fun, but I'm not expecting much from it. And then I saw it, and my world was rocked.
Yes.
Fury Road.
Oh, that was a good one.
Holy hell. I think I already said that as a descriptor in an earlier one, but still.
Guitar Man.
What? That movie is brilliant. It seems so simple, but there's this whole thing about like tearing down the patriarchy. It's nothing. It's just one long chase. There isn't another movie out there like it, and the visuals are great. And then there's also a black and white version that's also just stunning. Everything about this movie and the visuals, so much of that stuff's practical, and they integrate the stuff that's done with CG, with the exception of maybe that sandstorm scene. But
I'd put that on my top 10 of the decade.
That's a great movie. I like the Mad Max movies. I'm not in love with them. I like them well enough, but until this one, it's like, nope, love it. I don't need to watch Thunderdome, though, or the first one. You can appreciate it for its like low budget, like, pulling yourself up by your own bootstraps kind of thing.
Tina Turner's not getting you there?
No, and I don't need her singing a song at me about Thunderdome.
Yeah.
It's not a great movie. 2 is good.
Yes.
Yes, we all know 2 is good. But Fury Road is a masterpiece. Like, hands down, that movie is brilliant. Who wouldn't love that movie? I guess my wife, she wasn't big on it.
No.
But
there you go.
I found someone.
You really had to look far and wide for that.
Yeah. And number 1 movie of the decade, the biggest movie, the most influential movie of the decade, hands down, has affected the world ever since and will continue to do so for who the hell knows how long. The Avengers.
Yeah, that's a big
OG Avengers. There is no bigger movie this decade than The Avengers in its impact on cinema and just not even pop culture.
Yeah, it really kind of ruled the roost.
That movie has
set the standard as how those movies were going to be made and
everything. And I love it all. There's no real fat on that movie. I love all the character introductions. I love how they all meet. Hawkeye's story is weak, but beyond that,
well, we don't have to worry about that anymore.
I mean, Samuel L. Jackson. Sometimes you get Samuel L. Jackson in a movie, and he just does Samuel L. Jackson at you.
Yes.
But this movie, and he also does this in a lot of the Marvel stuff, like him in Civil War also counts, or not Civil War, Winter Soldier, where he's giving you something like nuanced and emotional, and he's really throwing everything at you. Tom Hiddleston is a great villain. We get so many memorable moments. Hulk smashing Loki, everyone confronting each other, that one long shot of the team together, Hulk punching Thor.
It holds up still. It's still very, very watchable.
And I love the scene of Tony like taking the armor off, and we have Coulson coming. He's just like, can't have a date. And there's just so much good.
Oh yeah.
And I love the color palette. the lighting on that movie is crazy. I love the palette on that film.
I think it certainly is up there. I'll put that on my top 10.
Yeah, there's been no bigger cultural moment in the last 10 years than that movie. You might say that you like Endgame better or Infinity War better, or maybe...
But that movie set those up.
Yeah, or you could say that there are better movies out there. I mean, I don't think there are for this decade, but that movie is the cultural touchstone since the year 2010, more than anything else. And I don't think that's even arguable.
No, I don't think you can argue it.
Yeah,
you're spot on that.
That movie's it's also good.
Yeah,
it's also really goddamn good.
It's not a bad movie. It's a very entertaining movie.
Yeah, and you could just I mean, there are a couple of these movies where you couldn't just toss them in looking at my top 10 without some context. But Avengers, you could throw in any day of the week. You could show that to someone who had never seen anything else, and they will get what everything is. It's a full, complete story.
2019 was...
And it's satisfying.
2019 was a really big year for wrapping up movies, too. Like, wrapping up story arcs and franchises.
Yeah. We'll see what the future has to bring for a lot of stuff. But
2020, perfect vision.
Yeah.
All right.
It's average vision.
Well, there you go. Anyway, if you'd like to ask questions of us, editorsnotecomics@gmail.com. Plus, we have the 200th episode show coming up. We need your questions for that.
Yeah, write us letters for that one. That one's that was fun to do last time, 100 episodes ago.
Well, we survived another year of podcasts. Yeah. Somehow, some way. Anyway, if you've enjoyed the show this year or want to enjoy it in the future, go to patreon.com/editorsnotecomics. $1 a month gets you this show a whole week early, except for next week. We're not here. Happy New Year. Aha.
Yeah.
So take that.
Look, we're pretty damn consistent.
We're going on vacation. We deserve a little 12-day hiatus. It's the 12 days of hiatus.
We'll be back for our best and worst of 2019.
Yes, more worse than best.
Where we talk about things like, what was the best movie? What was the worst movie? Who had the best wig? Who had the worst wig? I already have an answer for that one.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
It's Luke.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Wow.
Terrible wig.
There you go. Plus, you get spoiler and spoiler-free reviews of Buffy, Angel, and Firefly new releases, only exclusive to the Patreon subscription.
Those suckers are like 20 minutes long. They're not
cheap.
Yeah, they're not just little like.
You're not getting cheated at anything.
Oh yeah, you're getting.
I'm so confused right now. It's daylight. We're wrapping up the podcast. It's Sunday.
I got things to do today.
I'm so confused about what's going on in my life right now.
You need to go take a nap.
I do. You can visit the store at 210 Water Street in Hollowell. Plus, he's online, editorsnotecomics.com.
Yeah, closed up. I mean, probably by the time this comes out, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, but then normal hours will kick back up.
Yes, for Boxing Day.
Yes. I'll box you in the nose.
Plus, you can see him on all the social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, so on and so forth.
And you have a Twitter.
At Junior Rich.
Maybe there'll be football games you can see live tweeted.
Probably not today. I'm going to go sleep.
But it's football day.
It is. I got my full of football yesterday.
I bet you did.
Yes, I did.
Bet you got your fill of a lot of things yesterday.
Yeah. Deliciously grilled meats and hydrations.
What was that about a bucket?
There was a bucket of, there may or may not have been something that was described as a party bucket.
Oh, that's disgusting.
It was like drinking sticks of Big Red.
Oh, God, it's so gross. Fireball is so disgusting.
All of the cinnamon.
No, thank you.
I'm going to go sleep now.
All right, we'll be back in 2 weeks.
I can rest now.
Yeah.
I love you 3000. Stay classy, Space Cats.
There we go. Last of the year.